In this video, I brought you the solution of mixed conditional and direct and indirect question, two important topics of grammar from grade 12 English. Hi, I'm Sanjeev and you all are welcome to my channel. Let's begin with mixed conditional. But before we see the rule of mixed conditional, you can see the rule of conditional sentences here. Generally, there are four kinds of conditional sentence: zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. And here you have the structure as well under if clause and under the main clause. However, the rule of mixed conditional does not follow the rule of if sentence, or it does not just follow the rule of conditional sentences. It is different. How it is different? Let's see one example. But before the example, we know very well that a conditional sentence is composed of two parts: if clause and what we call main clause. With the example, if it rains tomorrow, I will not come. In this very sentence, the clause that begins with if, it is if clause. For example, if it rains tomorrow, it is if clause. And the clause that generally comes after comma, if clause, that is what we call main clause. Main clause shows the result, whereas if clause shows the condition. यो कुरा सम्झिनु पर्यो. मेन क्लजमा जहिले पनि रिजल्ट अथवा इफेक्ट दिएको हुन्छ. भोलि पानी पर्छ भने भोलिमा आउँदैन, नआउनु रिजल्ट हो, नआउनु इफेक्ट हो. कहिले? द कन्डिसन इज इफ इट रेन्स टुमोरो. सो यो रिजल्ट अथवा इफेक्टलाई हजुरले जहिले पनि सम्झिनु पर्यो, किनकि इट इज रिजल्ट एन्ड इफेक्ट that is written in main clause. Now, let's see this sentence. He is not a teacher. He is wearing a half pant. Okay, as you can see the image. Teacher, यो मान्छे टिचर भएको भए हाफ प्यान्ट लाएर त कोही पढाउन आउँदैन. अब हामीलाई इफ सेन्टेन्स लाएर भन्यो भने यो मिक्स्ड कन्डिसनलमा जान्छ. यसको आन्सर हेरौँ त. If he was a teacher, he would not be wearing a half pant. So you can see I have brought some changes. If he was a teacher, he would not be wearing a half pant. Let's see. In this very sentence, if he was a teacher, if clause bhayo bhane, he would not be wearing a half pant. Now you might be wondering, yo change kina yesto huncha ta? He is not a teacher, he is wearing a half pant. हामीले change गर्दा if he was a teacher, he would not be wearing a half pant भन्यो. Red color मा change देखाएको छु. Is not like was मा change गरिएछ. Is wearing like would not be wearing मा change गरेका छु. Why this very change or why this very transformation? Now, यो ट्रान्सफर्मेसन अथवा चेन्ज बुझ्नको लागि तपाईले यो सेन्टेन्सलाई इफ क्लज र मेन क्लजमा ब्रेक गर्नु पर्यो. रिजल्ट के हो? He is not a teacher. He is wearing a half pant. रिजल्ट अथवा इफेक्ट भनेको he is wearing a half pant हो. सो पछाडीको पार्ट चाहिँ मेन क्लज भयो, अगाडिको पार्ट he is not a teacher, that is the condition. त्यो के भयो भन्दा हजुरको इफ क्लज भयो. इफ क्लजमा हामी केही चेन्जेसहरु ल्याउँछौं मिक्स्ड कन्डिसनलमा. रुल नम्बर 1 हो, if the sentence is negative, make it positive. If the sentence is positive, make it negative. So negative छ भने positive बनाउने, positive छ भने negative बनाउने. र प्रेजेन्ट टेन्स छ भने पास्ट टेन्समा लाने, पास्ट टेन्स छ भने पास्ट पर्फेक्टमा लाने, अनि पास्ट पर्फेक्टमा छ भने I always say these things in the class, जाने कुनै बाटो छैन. You don't change it. It remains the same. So present tense turns into past, past tense turns into past perfect. What does that mean? It means question मा is MR देख्नुभयो, present tense हो भने यसलाई was were बनाइदिनुस् if clause मा. Question मै was were देख्नुभयो, past tense हो भने यसलाई had been बनाइदिनुस्. If you have been, again had been. If you have verb 1 or verb 5, that is present tense, turn it into verb 2. And if you have verb 2, change it into had plus P3. These are the things which you need to memorize. यति याद गर्नै पर्छ. Is MR, was were, had been, verb 1, verb 5, verb 2 and verb 2 had plus P3. भने main clause मा on the other hand पछाडीको साटोमा चाहिँ हामी same things, नेगेटिभ छ भने पोजिटिभ बनाइदिनुहोस्, पोजिटिभ छ भने नेगेटिभ. र यो would अथवा would not पछि ट्रान्सफर्मेसन लेख्नु पर्यो. ट्रान्सफर्मेसन भनेको अलिकति स्लाइड ट्रान्सफर्मेसन डिफरेन्ट छन्. Is MR present tense may be verb ma, was were have been, verb 1 verb 5 into verb 1 and verb 2 turns into have plus P3. Again you have to memorize. अब माथि एकचोटी हेरौं. As you can see here, he is not a teacher. It is negative, so you are going to make the sentence positive. Each you change is into k भन्दा was. If he was a teacher, comma, he राख्यो, he is wearing a half pant, that's positive, you make it negative. He would not. यो is लाई केमा चेन्ज गर्यो भन्दा you can see is turns into be. He would not be wearing a half pant. Now Let me bring these rules on the screen, and these are the probable questions for the examination. Change the following sentences into if sentence. हेरौँ त एकचोटि यो रुल राखिरहनु होला. The driver was talking on the phone, so the accident happened. यहाँ इफेक्ट के हो भन्दा पछाडि यो घटना रिजल्ट भनेको एक्सिडेन्ट भयो. पहिलोलाई हामी इफ क्लजमा चेन्ज गर्छौँ. इफ द ड्राइभरलाई, अब वाजलाई हामी केमा चेन्ज गर्छौँ? एज यु क्यान सी द वर्ड वाज. यो वाज केमा चेन्ज हुन्छ भन्दा वाज वेयर आयो भने वाज वेयर टर्न्स इन्टु ह्याड बिन. वाज वेयर आयो भने इज एमआर वाज वेयरमा चेन्ज हुन्छ. अहिलेको रुल हेरेका छौँ. वाज वेयर आयो भने वाज वेयर टर्न्स इन्टु ह्याड बिन. सो इफ द ड्राइभर, अब पोजिटिभ छ नेगेटिभ बनायौँ, ह्याड नट बिन टकिङ अन द फोन, द एक्सिडेन्ट, अब ह्यापेन्ड भनेको छ पोजिटिभ, नेगेटिभ बनायो होला वुड नट. ह्यापेन्ड भनेको verb to हो, verb to turns into have plus B3. So the accident would not have happened. Question number 2, there is no anyone at home because all the lights are off. All the lights are off. घरमा कोही भएको भए लाइट अफ हुँदैन थियो. दुईटै पहिलो सेन्टेन्स इफ देयर इज नो एनीवन एट होम, नेगेटिभ छ, यसलाई पोजिटिभ बनाऊ. इजलाई हामी केमा चेन्ज गर्छौँ? इज टर्न्स इन्टु वाज. सो इफ देयर वाज समवन एट होम, एनीवनलाई हामी पोजिटिभमा समवन बनाउँछौँ. सो इफ देयर वाज समवन एट होम, कमा द लाइट्स, पोजिटिभ छ नेगेटिभ वुड नट. यो आरलाई केमा चेन्ज गर्यौँ? एज यु क्यान सी इज एमआर टर्न्स इन्टु बी इन मेन क्लज. द लाइट वुड नट बी अफ. Question number 3. He must be an educated person because he has subscribed the Kathmandu Post. If B matre आयो भने हजुरले is MR भनेर बुझ्नु पर्यो. Don't be confused. If you only notice B is like is MR. अब is MR हामी was वेयरमा चेन्ज गरेर हेरौँ. If he, यो B भनेको is MR भएको कारण पोजिटिभ छ नेगेटिभ, was not an educated person. He has भनेको verb 5 जस्तो हो. verb 5 लाई हामी जहिले पनि verb 1 मा चेन्ज गर्छौँ. He would not, has लाई हामीले verb 1 मा चेन्ज गर्यौँ. He would not have subscribed the Kathmandu Post. And one more example, his head was not injured in the accident because he had put the helmet on. यो अलिकति डिफरेन्ट खालको क्वेसन लाग्ला. सो के भयो? रिजल्ट के हो भन्दा his head was not injured, यो रिजल्ट अथवा इफेक्ट हो. कन्डिसन थियो he had put the helmet on. क्वेसन तलमाथि भएको छ. यसमा हामीले इफ क्लज पछाडिबाट सुरु गर्छौँ. सो had plus B3 भनेको had प्लस भर्ब थियो भने पास्ट पर्फेक्ट हो. पास्ट पर्फेक्ट आयो भने यु डोन्ट चेन्ज इट. तर यो पोजिटिभ छ, यसलाई हामीले के बनाउनु पर्यो? नेगेटिभ बनाउनु पर्यो. सो इफ ही ह्याड नट पुट द हेलमेट अन, कमा हिज हेड वाज नट इन्जोर्ड भनेको छ नेगेटिभलाई पोजिटिभ. हिज हेड वुड, अब वाजलाई केमा चेन्ज गरेका छु? वाज चेन्ज इन्टु ह्याभ बिन. हिज हेड वुड ह्याभ बिन इन्जोर्ड. ओके, सो योर बेसिक thing is to memorize these rules. If you memorize these rules, you can easily solve these questions. Now, after this very mixed conditional, time for direct and indirect questions. So let's begin with example. Can you tell me where are you living? There are two questions. Can you tell me where are you living? Now, when you rewrite this, when you combine these two questions, it becomes, or one more example, I want to know where are you going? So when we have a question within question or statement, यो क्वेशनलाई अर्को क्वेशन भित्र राखेका छौं. यो क्वेशनलाई स्टेटमेन्ट भित्र राख्ने बित्तिकै the question within another question or the question within a statement is known as indirect question. When we rewrite these two questions, can you tell me where are you living? When you put where are you living within this question, जस्ताको तस्तै हामी सार्दैनौं. The answer हुन्छ can you tell me where are you उल्टेर where you are living. I want to know where are you going लाई फेरि लेख्दा यो where are you going लाई लेख्यौं भने I want to know are you उल्टेर where you are going. याद गर्नु होला पहिलो पार्ट स्टेटमेन्ट हो फुल स्टपमा सकियो कारण we use the punctuation mark full stop here too. अब how to change it भन्नको लागि you need to understand two things. First, we will see the indirect question of WS question and next we will see the indirect question of yes no question. Let's begin with the indirect question of WS question. See this example. WS question with auxiliary. यदि WS question auxiliary सहित छ भने हामीले स्ट्रक्चर यो राख्छौं. WS राख्छौं subject auxiliary plus verb राख्छौं. यो भने के हो? One example. Do you know where is he going? So यो question मा हेर्नु होला is he going is तपाईको auxiliary हो. So when you begin the answer, okay, when you begin the answer, you WS बाट सुरु गर्छौं. Do you know where लेख्छौं तर is लाई उल्टाएर हामी he is बनाइदिन्छौं. यो सजिलो छ है जस्तै कसरी बुझ्नुहोस् भने यो उल्टाइदिने. It's like changing the position. सब्जेक्ट अगाडि तान्दिने अक्सिलरी पछाडि इजी भयो भने ही इज बनाउने एम आई एम आर दे आर विल यु भन्नुहोस् त गुड यु विल ओके वेयर दे वेयर इट्स लाइक हिन्दी फिल्ममा छ नि हेरा फेरि भन्छ क्या उल्टाउने अगाडिकोलाई पछाडि पछाडिकोलाई अगाडि सो डु यु नो वेयर इज ही गोइङ आन्सर हेर्नुहोस् डु यु नो वेयर इजीलाई उल्टाएर हामीले बनायौँ ही इज गोइङ that's very simple there is another kind of question called WS question with do did does अब auxiliary नआएर क्वेशनमा do did does आयो हजुरलाई भने तपाईको पहिलो काम यो do did does लाई हटाउनुहोस् do आयो भने verb 1 ले रिप्लेस गर्नुहोस् did आयो भने verb 2 ले रिप्लेस गर्नुहोस् does आयो भने verb 5 ले रिप्लेस गर्नुहोस् सी द एक्जाम्पल do you know where do they live do लाई हामीले के गर्नु पर्यो भने हामीले do लाई हटाइदिनु पर्यो र do लाई हटाएर do पछि जले verb 1 नै आउँछ यो सार्दिनु पर्यो do आयो भने त दशै आयो do हटाउनुहोस् अरु जस्ताको त्यस्तै कपी गर्नुहोस् ल भेरी सिम्पल ट्रिक सो डु यु नो वेयर दे लिभ डु यु नो why did he cry यो did लाई हटाउनुहोस् र यो cry लाई हजुरले verb to मा चेन्ज गर्नुहोस् लाइक रुल देखाए जस्तै ओके सो यु रिमुभ did एन्ड यु रिप्लेस cry इन्टु did आयो भने हेर्नु होला verb to मा हामीले चेन्ज गरेका छौं सो डु यु नो why he cried and finally if you have does आयो भने verb 5 भनेका छौं one example do you know when does he come does लाई हटाउँ does आयो भने यो यसलाई verb 5 भनेको ses थपौं so do you know when he comes that's very simple do did does हटाउने do आयो भने verb 1 did आयो भने verb 2 does आयो भने verb 5 it is about WS question now another kind of question is yes no question so in the case of yes no question the same rule of WS question that we just read applies but we just need to add if or whether एउटा एक्जाम्पल हेरौं do you know easy mad यो yes no question भयो easy mad यसलाई auxiliary आएको छ फेरि हजुरले you need to change the position अगाडिपटि add if or whether example C do you know हजुरले if add गर्नुभयो easy लाई उल्टाएर he is mad बनाउनु भयो are they भएको भए they are were they were that's very simple and what about auxiliary नआएर मेन verb आयो भने फर एक्जाम्पल do you know did they call you यो मेन verb do did does आयो भने अघि मैले भनेको छु हटाउने र did आयो भने verb to मा चेन्ज गर्ने कल या के हुने भन्दा did हट्ने भयो कल केमा चेन्ज हुने भन्दा पास्ट टेन्स मा चेन्ज हुने भयो सो do you know if they called you one more example do you know does she miss you you remove does and you change miss into verb 5 so do you know if she misses you do you remember do they still live there अब do आयो भने त दशै नै आइहाल्यो you don't do anything you just write it as it is verb 1 नै हो त्यो so do you remember if they still live there now after this we will see the exercise from the book okay question number 1 combine the following into indirect question could you tell me where is the street market so you change this into indirect questions there are two questions direct questions where is the street market लाई हामीले indirect मा चेन्ज गर्नु is भनेको छ is the street market is हेर्ने बित्तिकै यो auxiliary हो is the street market लाई उल्टाइदिनुहोस् the street market so could you tell me where the street market is I am longing to know what time does the bank open does आयो verb 5 आयो does अनि त्यो does हटाउनुहोस् open लाई verb 5 मा चेन्ज गरिदिनुहोस् opens I am longing to know what time the bank opens do you have any idea how has he managed the work how has he has plus he subject auxiliary उल्टाइदिनुहोस् has he लाई he has बनाइदिनुहोस् do you have any idea is missing do you have any idea how he has managed the work number 4 have you found out are they making noise is the example of WS if yes no question are they making noise it is the example of yes no question I repeat so therefore add if or whether and have you found out if they are making noise are they लाई उल्टाउँदा they are भयो likewise last question is do you remember did he go home did लाई हटाउनुहोस् अनि यो go त हाम्रो went भइहाल्यो do you remember if he went home so here you combine direct questions into indirect now here you have one more example in which indirect questions have to be turned into direct ones see this example do you remember if I locked the front door in this very question do you remember if I locked the front door यसलाई डाइरेक्ट क्वेशनमा चेन्ज गर्दा पछाडिपट्टिको पार्ट हो हेर्नु पर्यो जस्तै इफ आई लक द फ्रन्ट डोर हेर्नुहोस् र इफ आउने बित्तिकै यो यस नो क्वेशन हो लक्ड आयो भने हामीले रहेछ verb to आयो भने अगाडि did हो so it's simply like did I lock the front door have you found out if the train has left यो if आउने बित्तिकै यस नो क्वेशन भइसक्यो the train has left भन्छ, त्यस कारण यो auxiliary भयो कारण auxiliary अगाडि लगाइदिनुहोस्. Has the train left? Would you tell me where he lives? So here do you have WS question? So where does he live? Number 4, have you found out when he will come? It is like when will he come? And I want to know if they are still dancing. Are they still dancing? So that's very simple. This brings us to the end of this very video. I hope you enjoyed and understood this video. Thanks for watching.